Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gaming Top Down podcast, a weekly, family-friendly podcast all about board games. I have a wall of board games behind me. Love playing board games. Don't play as many as I would like to, but, I do play hundreds a year, and I think that's more than the normal person.
It is.
And I rope Devin into playing a lot of them with me as well. My name is David, and Devin is my brother, and he's here with me every week, and we talk about the games that we have been playing. Devin, it's been about a week since our last episode. We got the new studio set up in the basement that we talked about last episode. How are you after another week?
I'm fantastic, sir.
Awesome.
Yes. Cool. What's new with me? Been doing some streaming. I went on went on a longboard ride. Yeah, everyone needs to do that. Great time. Just like we did last year. We drive 2 cars to one place, take 1 car back, longboard back to the first car, drive home. Right?
Then
it's all
you drive
making
back
sense.
to the second car and drive home.
Exactly.
That's
So we longboarded like 6 miles, got some sun.
That's like, I used to like longboarding quite a bit as a teenager. I almost got hit by a car once. And I was like 17, 18. And I think since then I've been a little more afraid. And now as a 35-year-old, I think I would be terrified to stand on one of those.
There's a moment or like a couple hours of riding them as we're older where you kind of have to morph back into that bravery because it feels sketchy at first.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't trust your legs anymore.
Yeah.
Like jumping off that thing to stop or something.
I'd break my knee.
Exactly. It feels risky. You feel very old when you're doing this. But when you're scared, you just sit down and you look like a fool right next to the highway, sitting on a skateboard, mobbing down a hill. But
sit down, huh?
Oh, yeah. Sit
Just
on that
rip your
longboard.
pants? Oh, no, you'd sit down right on the board.
Right on the board. Oh, yeah. And I put my feet on the board and my butt.
So how do you do it if you were standing? Can you go from standing to sitting?
Oh, no. You would
sit down prior to the hill.
Prior to the hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's some very steep hills.
You wearing helmets?
Totally. No, probably should because I get a little extra brave, a little too brave out there. Ooh. I almost hurt myself, yeah. But yeah, getting a little bit of sun recently, trying, not like you. He's out golfing, getting all the sun. I did 2 new things today. I got to try to physically remove RAM from my computer. I've only ever dabbled with RAM a little bit.
Yeah. It like clips into the slots.
Yeah, it's kind of satisfying.
It is.
I also don't like touching the stuff because, have you ever been to a car show? They're like, don't you dare put your finger on that paint. The body oil is going to ruin that paint.
The Ferrari, yeah.
And I'm going to ruin your life. It's the same thing with like, that's how I'm programmed to look at hardware and computers. I'm like, I don't know what to do with you.
For sure.
I need a plastic bag to put you in. And like, I need sleeves like your cards.
Yeah. And I see people online, like they'll wear special gloves and they'll get these little like metal things to like discharge like any electric current from their skin first before they touch the components.
You know what I did unintentionally before touching the components? I unplugged it. I turned all the power off and then sat there and brushed my socks against the carpet that it's sitting on to create static electricity. And then I just went all in.
Nice. So you're trying to explode it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you were touch the light switch or something to get rid of it, but
no, I legitimately kneeled right down next to it on the carpet with socks on and was just like, I'm taking this out.
I've never been very careful with it either, and I've never had a problem.
I don't want to get shocked. Someone asked me the other day if I've ever been electrocuted, like even just by an outlet, and I don't know that I have because they said it's a very brutal, intense feeling that's kind of scary.
Once, and I was probably 10.
Yep, I don't want to. Yep,
it was scary.
Don't do that to me.
Luckily, I mean, I was just grabbing, like, pulling a cord out, and I, like, let my fingers slide over the plastic edge, and I touched one of the 2 metal prongs as I was pulling it out. So I just, like, barely got it, but, that half a second. Woo! Yeah. Sends a weird feeling through your heart.
Yeah, I'm very curious what that actually feels like.
I didn't like it. So.
What else is new with me? Oh, I tried a nighttime tea today.
Mm.
Our mom has a bunch of little tea
I
bags.
like a good like bedtime tea, like a throat coat or a.
Yeah,
They
we
have
had
like
that one.
a sleepy time tea or something.
Yeah, I didn't take that one.
Okay,
But
good.
I think it said steep for 7 minutes. I assume that means to dip the bag in the water.
I think that just means let it sit like in the water. A lot of
To
people do
steep.
do the up and down motion to
Yeah.
like hurry up the steepage.
I didn't know
But
steep was anything other than the angle of a mountain,
yeah.
right?
Yep, that's too steep.
So I did that
Tea.
today also. What else is new with me? I don't know. Just trying to manage life and all of its tasks.
Yeah.
How are you?
I agree with that. Life and all of its tasks. But no, doing good. Last weekend went on a family trip with my wife's family. They rented a cabin. It was kind of crazy. It's like in southern Utah where it's very hot.
Mm-hmm.
But the cabin was in such an elevated, like I guess elevation. Driving up to it, it was only like 65 degrees during the day.
Oh,
We like drove
weird.
down the mountain to go golfing one of the days. It was like 90 when we got there, which is very warm.
So just the altitude is adjusting temperature that much.
Yeah, kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, I feel like that's way weird.
Yeah, I agree. I was a little caught off guard by it, having to like bring a jacket in July on a camping trip.
To the
Was
hotter part of the state.
to the hotter part of our state, but it was really fun. We had the cabin. The kids ran around. They had a big like porch all the way around it, so they like brought their scooters and went in a million circles. And um, I like camping in a cabin because you can still shower like every day or two if you want to, which I do. I like showering, um, and you kind of avoid the tent and the bear. You know, you avoid some of
Yeah,
the
that's
parts
true.
of camping that freak me out a little bit. Even though we have a tent, but I wouldn't know what to do with that bear if I saw a bear. Hey, bear. That's what everyone
No, yeah.
says to do, but
And tents are such a weak structure.
yeah.
It's like
So yeah, cabin's nice. It had like 7 bedrooms, and every bedroom was like attached to a bathroom. It was very spacious. It was wonderful. So really enjoyed that. Went golfing one of the days. Did 18 holes with 2 of my brothers-in-law and my oldest son. So that was fun. And we went fishing one day in a little like kind of reservoir close to the cabin. Fish were not biting very much, but my 6-year-old caught one, which was nice. We rented a side by side, kind of like a ATV that has doors. What's the difference between
has a cage
yeah
around it?
a roll cage with doors? And rode up some trails like into the mountain, saw some cool sights. And then every night we would laugh and play games, and it was fun. So we'll talk about some of those games probably here on the episode. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm not a camping fan, but if I'm gonna camp, that's the way I want to do it, with like cabin, shower. Um, I like fishing a lot, and I like golfing. Love golfing. So
I didn't know you liked fishing. I get that hook stuck in that fish's face, and I'm like, do we just go our separate ways at this point, or like?
Yeah, I do like fishing. Nothing about fishing really grosses me out. Like, I'll rip that worm in half, stick it on the hook, and I'll get the pliers down that fish's throat trying to get the hook out. I do feel a little bad for it sometimes because they get
I do too.
they get really stuck, and that thing's got to be choking on those
yeah,
pliers.
Yeah. I feel bad as well.
Yeah,
I'm ripping the worm in half. That whole thing's a weird feeling.
I'm surprised by how much blood is inside a worm. You rip that thing open, and it's weird.
Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it has a little bit of resistance. I don't know.
Yeah, I like fishing. I'm not like too hardcore with it. I have one fishing pole, and it's just like a regular, what do you call this? Just a reel.
Dude,
it's not a fly pole or anything.
You should combine your two hobbies and have your putter as like also have like a you can fish with your putter.
That'd be
you
cool.
can attach a reel to your putter.
I could attach a hook to a golf ball to a string, drive that bad boy 300 yards
right
with the hook on it
into the lake.
Then the golf ball could act like a little bobber out there. You see it go down. I got one. It's just 300 yards away.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a fun trip. It was good. I don't know that much else is new with me, Devin. We'll do a really quick super movie brothers, at least quick on my part. I only have one movie, but you are the movie man, so you might have a few more. My wife and I were talking about movies recently. We want to go see Fantastic Four and Superman, and we're behind and haven't gotten to the movie theaters, and so we haven't seen those yet. And so we got talking about superhero movies, and we don't like we like some of them, but they're not like our favorite genre. But we decided we wanted to watch Christopher Nolan's Batman series again. So we started that and watched Batman Begins. And man, it's crazy. That movie's like 19 years old, I think, or something along that timeline. And it's crazy just how much better it is than almost every other superhero movie.
They're very, very good.
They're so good. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of it is nostalgia for sure. Like Batman is probably Batman and Spider-Man are like my two favorite superheroes. And so, like, I'm just more drawn to it. I think that Christopher Nolan is like great at making like movies like very enthralling, and like the way that he tells his stories. And then the writer that he was paired with, I think, is David Goyer, who like co-wrote a lot of his movies as well. Like just excellent writing and characters that are so good. And so movie's very old. If you haven't seen Batman Begins or The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises, like it's that's as pristine a comic book movie as I think you'll ever find. So love that.
I also love that. Mm-hmm. And they're very hard to compare to, in my opinion, other superhero movies, because the Christopher Nolan ones really tap into like a darkness and realism and
Batman plays into that really well because he's like just a dude, but a rich dude, and it's like dark in Gotham and
how do you compare?
And then like Spider-Man's like happy in New York City. You know, it's a different vibe going from Marvel to Batman. You know,
it is. It's very, very different. Like you watch Love and Thunder, and Thor's doing the splits between two machines with these monsters on them.
Of course he is.
And AC/DC's playing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. They're both great in their own way, but the Christopher Nolan movies, I mean, Christopher Nolan is.
I wish that we got more in that vein now, because I feel like there's been so many in like the happy-go-lucky Marvel vein, where like for Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought like perfect fit. This works for them, that series, so well. And Spider-Man, I think it works for him pretty well. But I'm like, yeah, does Thor need to be doing the splits?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know if Thor needs to be super gritty, but
yeah, but it's kind of cool to see that gritty nature sometimes, where it's like, I don't know. It's hard because if you watch the original Thor movie, you can tell he's much younger mentally. Yeah. And he's just like, they attacked us, we attack back, father. That's what we do. And he's like, I'm pretty intense. And then he like gains a personality over the films.
Yeah.
Anyways, what movies did I watch? I watched The Assessment. Did we talk about this last time I was here?
Assessment, like test?
Yes, like The Assessment.
I don't know what this movie is.
Two individuals in this weird, I don't know if it's a futuristic world. Elizabeth Olsen and some other guy are basically applying in a way to have
to
be able to have children.
Yeah.
And someone comes and assesses them in person and has to look at all aspects of their life to see if they're fit to be parents, and basically that person is there to drive them absolutely freaking crazy.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Got like really in their business.
Yeah, very interesting movie. I don't know if I recommend it or not. I don't know. Hardly remember.
I don't know.
I think I keep falling asleep while watching these films. Like I started some movie with Jason Statham the other night, and he was like, "I'm the bartender," and then I fell asleep.
And then the transporter.
And then I watched another film. What did I watch last night? Oh, Den of Thieves 2. Have you seen those movies? Mm-mm. They're actually pretty fun. Gerard Butler.
Oh, okay.
He's like I don't know if it's a bounty hunter or what he is, but in some relationship with the cops or the FBI or something, and then he's got like his own personal goals of who he's gonna catch and what he's gonna do. So I thought the original movie was super good.
Interesting.
And then I watched the second one last night, and it was super long, but they're actually pretty fun movies. I'm sure I've watched some other things. I rewatched some of the Insidious films for some odd reason. I've seen them 36 times, but watch some of those. I'm sure I've seen other things.
You are the movie man.
I do like to have something to watch. For some reason, it gives me this happiness before bed.
Oh, I love it too. If I had enough time, I think we'd watch a movie every night. Like popping popcorn and getting a blanket on the couch. Like that's the best. So good.
It is.
I think we'll continue the Dark Knight trilogy. But I don't know if I was telling Lace that we should like rewatch Spider-Man because we watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies last year, which mostly because of nostalgia are like my favorite ones, even though number 3 is like not very good. But the Tom Holland ones are also excellent. Like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, like so good. And Michael Keaton is the Vulture in that one, also very good. Remember who was the villain in the latest one? It was
in the latest one. Well, the latest
one was like where they pulled in all the other Spider-Men, and it had Doc Ock and what was that? No Way Home.
Yes, and like, are there multiple
Doctor
villains
Strange.
in that?
Yeah,
the Green Goblin was in that ish.
Yeah, that's a really fun one because it had all 3 Spider-Men in it. So it was cool that they were able to pull Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in while they're still like relatively young. But now that they've done that like nostalgia grab, I hope that the 4th one, which I think just started filming, just goes back to, okay, we're just going to focus on Spider-Man now, on Tom Holland, and just let him be a Spider Dude. But it is also really weird that they made 3 Venom movies and didn't have Spider-Man in one of those, like at all.
I've been very surprised. Sometimes you think there's going to be
like
a bit of an overlap between these characters that and then you never see it happen.
Like that is those two have to overlap. Like I don't understand how that didn't work.
Yeah, didn't he like slightly become Venom himself in 3 as Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, with the symbiote suit. So yeah, I don't know.
It'll happen. Maybe they're trying to really drag out this.
I think that Tom Hardy is done as villain or a Venom though. So I don't.
Oh really? How do you know that information?
I think I heard that like the last one was the last one he was doing. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Crazy.
Well, that'll probably do it for Super Movie Brothers.
Yeah.
Before we get into the show, just a little shout out here. Make sure to check us out on Patreon. Our Patreon for both of our shows is patreon.com/supergamebrothers. And we just put up our podcast from, they've been up for about a week, from last week. And we've got the new format here with new logos and thumbnails, kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about in each episode, and then there will be different breakout segments from them. So Super Game Brothers podcast, Gaming Top Down podcast, both here on this one Patreon page. And just for $1 a month, you can get early access right into the show, vote on the games that we play and cover. So it's a fun time over there, so please check that out. And then we also have a giveaway at supergamebrothers.com, and you can get a gaming gift card or a bundle of board games. So make sure to join that as well. Totally free. The only thing you have to do, I think, is join our email newsletter, but we send like one email. It used to be one a week, but I'm a little behind, so one a month.
Yes,
sometimes one a week. So make sure to check that out as well. Okay, getting into our regular show, we've got a couple different segments today that we're going to go over. First off, I just wanted to go over a couple of games that I'm excited about that I just got here. They're actually my buddy, his games. I said that weird. My buddy, his games. My buddy's games. He lives a couple houses down, and we like share Kickstarter games back and forth, and he had a couple deliver this week that he let me unbox and kind of look at on the channel. So I'm going to go back to the screen and show those here. The first one is Brink. This one is from Ivy Studio, who did like Fractured Sky and Veiled Fate and quite a few other games. It's a pretty big box like Fractured Sky. It has kind of this cool 4X sci-fi vibe where you are exploring these different planets and there's like 5 different resources you can get from the planets. I'm not sure if this is one that I will love because I'm very picky with one of the main mechanisms, which is negotiation and trading. Like, hey, I'll give you 2 copper if you give me a gold. I feel like that's can be like a breaking point of a game, in my opinion, if you're playing with the wrong people that are like very pushy, very bold. Like, you're gonna give me the gold, Devin.
Yeah, or I know I'm gonna lose, so I'm just gonna give you a bunch of stuff so you beat that person.
Yeah, king making also bad.
King making.
Yeah, where someone realizes they can't win, so they're gonna do everything they can to make sure someone else they don't want to doesn't as well. Very cool looking game. The pieces are awesome. Like, every player has this cool tray and a shield that hides how many of each resource you have, and then a mini tray inside of the tray that you like pop out when you are like voting on these different resources. Has these very cool ships and stuff. Hopefully this segment of the video will load so you can see that, but different ships that you can attach like guns and extra cargo hold space to. And each, like I mentioned, each player has their own little tray there that looks just like that. Very, very cool looking. We've been chatting about it. I think we're going to try and play it in the next couple of weeks. But anyways, that's Brink from Ivy Studio. And then the other one is the newest game in the Everdell universe. Everdell is a super, super popular line of games. I had the first game for a while and I thought it was pretty good, but I ended up selling it. I thought it was good, but not like excellent like so many other people do. The artwork's very pretty. And this is supposed to be a slightly more like complex, like just a newer version with the main new mechanism is there's snow. And when you want to take like a specific card, snow might have fallen on it or on a specific location. And so you have to use like fire and some of your things you have built up to clear the snow before you're able to take the actions or cards that you want to. Looks very cool. Again, very pretty artwork. The character meeples have like little snowshoes that you put on like one of them to make him your special meeple that can travel in the snow better. And the fire pieces are like very cool. It does have this big board, and again, very cool pieces. In the first Everdell, they had these really squishy like berry pieces. None of them are quite as like a satisfying like squish wise as the berries in the first one, but they're very cool. There's acorns, which are very cool looking.
Yeah, that's
and
fun.
then the fire pieces are also very cool. In first Everdell, there was also this big cardboard tree that you would build that would sit at the top of the board, and some of the objective cards would sit like in the leaves on the tree. This one has a similar thing, but instead of a tree, it's a snowy mountain, and the mountain also has these what would you call it? These like bonfire things on the top. The word is escaping me, but it's this wooden thing that sits up there, like on Lord of the Rings, that Return of the King.
Oh, when they're lighting
the beacons. There you go.
Oh,
has these beacons on them. And so at the end of this unboxing I did, I built the mountain and the beacon, one of the 4 beacons, and like set it up there. And it is cool. The cards sit on this mountain a little bit better than the tree, in my opinion. And the beacon is cool looking. Let me get to the end of this video and show you just kind of what it looks like set up. And like I mentioned, it'll just sit at the very top of the main board, and then cards will sit on those different slots, showing you like how much of, I think that's the coin resource you have to spend to get specific cards. And then the beacons go in like the 4 spots on top, and they look very cool, especially with like the little fire meeple on top. I am very grateful that they included a secondary option in this game, just a flat board, that if you don't want to build this but you still want to start playing, it's just a spot for each of the cards and a spot for where the beacons would go on this little flat board that you're seeing right here. So if you don't want to build the thing, you can still play faster by just using that instead. Yeah, I'm excited to try that one, even though Everdell is not my favorite game in the world, but does look pretty cool. It was fun to unbox those. Please check those out on the channel if you want to take a peek at either of those games. Okay, we're gonna go back to our face now, and for today's main segment, we're gonna do 3 mini reviews of 3 little card games. And this is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. There are 3 card games that I think are excellent and worth your money. And I think you can probably get all 3 of them for under $15. And if you're lucky or find them on sale, you might get them for under 10. So let's go down to the table and show you the 3 games. And let's start with a trio, since that does match our trio of mini reviews here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so this is Trio. It is a little card game where everyone has a hand of cards, and you take your hand of cards and you put it in your hand in ascending order. So let's just pretend this was my hand of cards. I have a 2, 4, I have 2 2s, a 4, an 8, 2 11s, and a 12. And so I have to keep them in my hand in that order, and you'll understand why in a minute. Then Devin would also have a hand of cards, and there will be some cards in the middle that are face down. And each of these numbers from 1 to 12 has only 3 copies of itself in the game. And your goal on your turn is, if you can find all 3 of a specific number, you get to set it, that grouping of them, in front of you. And if you get 3 of those trios, you win. Or if you get 2 linked trios, basically if the sum or subtraction of the 2 numbers equals 7, then they'll be linked. So a 12, if you get the set of 12s and the set of 5s, that would be a winning combo. Or if you get the 3 7s, then you immediately win. 7s are gold. They're also the middle number, so they're the hardest to get to, because on your turn, you're going to, hey, you flipped one over. Look at that.
I mean, look at me go.
Yeah, such great and perfect timing. You're going to ask, usually you're going to ask other people so that you don't reveal too much from your hand. Might say, Devin, what's your lowest card? And you can only ask someone about their lowest or their highest card. So if Devin had a 2, for example, he'd reveal that. Now everybody knows that Devin's lowest card is a 2. I know that I have one as well in my hand, but I'm going to keep that secret for a minute, and maybe I flip one of these cards on the table. It didn't happen to be a 2, so my turn would be immediately over, but now I know there's a 1 there. So it's a bit of a memory game, which I don't usually like in games, because I don't have a great memory. But this one's simple enough where for each person, you really only need to remember 2 things: their low card and their high card. And then of the 6, 7, or 8 cards that are in the middle, you need to remember what they are. And then you're just trying to find those 3 and trying not to reveal too much about your own hand. You also cannot do anything with the cards in your hand that are in the center. So even though I have a 4, an 8, and 2 11s, I can't reveal those or play them down in a trio set, because they're kind of locked between my 2 and my 12. So very simple game. First person to get 3 trios wins. We played this 8 rounds in one night up at the cabin, just barely. We were just having a ton of fun. My one brother-in-law was just super good at it. Some people, it just clicks in their brain a lot better than others, I think. And for him, it was just like he could perfectly remember what cards everyone had, and because of that logic, he knew, like, okay, so David must have like a 7 in the middle and you've got a 6. And it was kind of bonkers to watch. So we were all like trying to I don't know, muster as much of our own skill in the game as we could to beat him, which was tricky. But yeah, we played it for probably 2 hours straight, 8 straight times, and I think I have like 25 plays of Trio. I think it's excellent. I usually go through quite a few different like segments about duration and aesthetics and variability for a game, but for this one we're not going to go through too much. I think the cards are really cool. I would maybe sleeve them if it were me, just because they're a black border on the back, and so they can get like marked with like little white dings, and you don't want to be able to tell what cards are which, obviously. Um, but it's really just a pretty simple deck of cards, and in the 25 times I've played it, man, it has felt very different from one play to the
I would have said that
to the next. Just based on the group of people you're playing it with. Like I mentioned, my brother-in-law that we played it with last weekend was super good at it, and those plays had a very different vibe than the other plays of this game that we've done. So Trio is man, I think it's excellent. I think it's a card game I'll have for a long time. Trying to decide if I want to buy some even like nicer sleeves for this game, because the set of sleeves I had on the cards, one of them ripped because we've played it so much, and I think a few people weren't being super careful, which is fine. They were fairly cheap sleeves. But anyways, Trio for me is excellent. I think this is a gold trophy game for David. Just excellent. I think the downside is someone that's not good at like memory games will struggle a little bit. But I think even the people that we could tell weren't quite as good at like all the memorization and memory, we're still having a good time, and we're able to like have some good rounds. Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's a good entry point if you want to take like a step up from Uno or something like that into a game that is much better, in my opinion, but not scary. Like you could introduce this to your mom or your grandma, and I think they would understand it in just like 60 seconds. So Trio is excellent. Can't recommend it enough if you like a fun card game with 10-minute rounds that people are going to be like laughing, and like the surprise of where the last 7 is or where the last 4 was that you needed to win. Like it's always a fun like reveal at the end of the game. So Trio is excellent. Gold trophy game here from Gaming Top Down. All right, let's move Trio out of the way. And we're going to get on to our next mini review. And this review, Devin, is going to be for Edo. This is also a small little card game, but this one is cooperative, where everyone is playing together and either wins together or loses together. So much like Trio that we just talked about, I think it can also be introduced to just about anyone in a family, grandma, mom, dad, even kids, as long as they're not like way young. What's it say on here? I would say like 10. This says 8+, and that might work with a little help from a parent. But in this game, there is cards in the deck from numbers 1 to 100, and everyone is dealt a card in secret. So if Devin got a 4 and I got a 72, and let's just pretend that there was a few other people we were playing with that, unbeknownst to us, had a 5, a 50, and a 71. Then there will also be a category card. This one might be, I don't know, useful skills for work is our category. Then each of us, fun part about this game, you don't have to take turns in order. As soon as someone feels like they're ready to give a good clue, they can just go next. So I might say, with a 72, useful skills for work, I'm good, somebody that is good at Microsoft Excel. I feel like that's on a scale from 1 to 100. Pretty useful nowadays, but maybe, not all the way up at 100 because there are more AI tools and things like that that are helping. So I don't know. That's just a simple clue here, and we'd put it face down in the row, and then everyone else is trying to judge. Okay, well, his number must be fairly high because of that. This person with the 71 would probably be the most confused. Like, oh man, is mine higher or lower? Devin would obviously know with his 4 that his is much, much lower. So, Devin, what would a good clue for that be? Tie your shoes.
I can wipe crumbs off my shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
That's about a 4% useful skill.
Yeah.
For work. So.
That's true. I don't know how much they'd pay for that.
Yeah.
So we would know just based on that. Devin puts his card face down that it's definitely to the left of mine. But then more clues would start to come in. This person at 50, I think the middle numbers are the hardest. Would probably say like, what's a clue for 50? Useful skills for work. I can drive. Like, that's important to get there. I don't know. We'll just go with that. And maybe this person with 71 thought they were higher, and the 4 and the 5 would also be tricky. But after all of the cards are in order, we can still continue to talk about them. There's also these other cards that you would put down with yours to help determine which clue was yours, so that we can keep track of that. Maybe after talking about it a little bit more, we think that this one would go here instead. Then when the whole table feels ready, we flip them over from left to right and just see if our numbers are in ascending order. And if they are, like these should be, then we won the round. And if not, then we lost the round. It's kind of like more of an activity than a game. Like you're all just kind of talking and laughing together. But man, I really, really love this one. I don't think I've laughed harder at a deck of cards than playing this game. Very, very silly. The only negative I think I have with this one is I don't think there is enough of the category cards, and some of them are definitely like more fun categories than others. Some of them are really bland, like the one we just kind of gave as an example, like useful things for work. Like that's not one that like gets you thinking or gonna have creative answers so much.
Yeah, or like popular movies. Most people don't know. You're gonna have one person at the table who knows which movies are popular. Most people don't. Yeah, I don't like that question that much. It doesn't introduce creativity in your answers.
Yes, I agree. But there are some that do. I'm trying to think of a great one that we had. Like this one's okay. I think like a villain. What's the best location for a secret lair? Things you longed for as a kid. Like these are less cut and dry, and so they become like more fun. I think one of them that we had was like useful things, and I think our brother like said dust, and we were so confused on like whether dust should be like super high or super low, and we talked about dust for way longer than like we maybe should have, but it was hilarious. So I know there are some websites that have like hundreds of additional prompts if you want to just pull your phone out instead once you're done with the cards. So even though I do think that is a slight negative on the game, it seems like there are ways online to kind of fix that problem. For me, Ito is a game I think I'll keep forever. I think it's just like a 10 out of 10. I think it's hilarious. Again, I think it's more of like a fun chatting activity than it is like what I would classify like a board game where we're keeping points, and I'm trying, obviously, because it's a cooperative game and not a competitive one, but so good. I don't usually like games in that category of like social activities, but Ito's great. You'll laugh. The reveal at the end of the round is always really fun to see if the numbers did end up in ascending order. Devin, have you enjoyed the plays that you have had of Ito?
I have, but I think it's because of the way I've gone into it is just looking to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't think the game is perfect. You can manipulate the game's mechanics pretty simply through not giving direct instructions of what conversations can be had.
Yeah, the rules are very vague.
Yes, it's like, for example, there's some question on the board and I go, well, maybe half the time. And someone's like, okay, half means 50.
Right.
You can manipulate.
You can start to ruin the scale.
Oh, 100%. If everyone's on the same foundation of thought, you can kind of take the guessing out of the game.
Yeah.
To almost manipulating it so that you win, even though with enough people, you almost never win.
It's true. Once you get
very tough.
More than 6, whew, very hard.
But ultimately, it's fun. Like you said, people are laughing. I think it's hilarious. When people's answers can get very creative and you can see their personalities come out in their answers, that's when the game's fun.
Yeah, I agree. If you have someone that really is trying to push everyone to win and we need to think about this on a 100-pound scale and trying to make sure that everyone is giving directionally accurate clues, then it is less silly. And it's most fun when it is silly. So go into it with that mindset, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So that's Edo, another just excellent card game. Okay, Devin, last up is the newest one, and you actually haven't played this one, but I've played it quite a few times in the last couple of weeks since I got it. It's a very, very small box in All Plays miniature game line, and this one is really cool. There are 60 cards in this box, from numbers 1 to 6, and there's 10 of each. So there's 10 1s, 10 2s, 10 3s. And you're trying to get the most points in order to win. And I think the game has 2 really cool features. The first one is that the cards are the points. So you're trying to get cards with higher point values. So I'd rather have this 6 than these 4s, for example. In the second round and onward, cards will stack though. And so this would be 8, 8, and 6. And so if I win this round, I would get first dibs and I would take this stack of 4s, which would be worth 8 points instead of 6. The way that you play is fairly similar. It's a, what do they call it? A card shedding, ladder climbing game, where you're trying to get rid of, I guess it's not even so much card shedding. You're trying to win the trick. It's not truly a trick-taking game either, though. You're just trying to have the most powerful hand of cards that were played. If you have the most powerful hand that's played, then you get first dibs at the cards in the middle. Since there are only numbers 1 to 6, a run can be from 1 to 6 is the longest run. You could have 2, 3, 4 as a shorter run. If I play a run that's 1, 2, 3, and then on Devin's turn, he can't play a set anymore since I've kind of led with a run. So sets are no longer allowed, so he couldn't play 3s, but he could always play a single card, or he could play a run. And if Devin decided, I don't want to win this round so much, I'm just going to play a 1 and a 2. And then depending on what everyone else played, let's just assume that I won this round. I would get these 2 cards, and I put them face down in a pile in front of me. These are my points for the game. Let's just pretend that someone else did play something stronger than Devin's run, but not quite as strong as mine. Doesn't really matter. They took those. Devin would get this 6. And so sometimes you want to keep the cards. You're like, well, 6 isn't a lot less or fewer points than the 8. Maybe I don't burn so many cards and just shoot for last place, knowing I'm still going to get quite a few points. The cool thing about this game, the cards that were played this round become the points for the next round. So these slide up here, and these would stack and stack and stack. So now 4, 3, and 2 would be the points available for this next hand. So the cards kind of cycle from your hand to the points available. Then whoever wins that hand gets first dibs, and those go in their point scoring piles. And whoever has the most points in their face down point scoring pile at the end of the game wins. It's only like a 10-minute game, so you'll have like 10 cards in your hand, maybe up to like 14, depending on player count. The second cool thing this game does is as soon as one person is out of cards in their hand, the game doesn't end. So you don't want to run out of cards too fast, because if you do, everyone else keeps playing rounds without you, and you don't get to take any point cards. So you could really crush a few rounds, maybe I play like 4 threes one round, or I play a huge run from 1 to 6 because I really want to win a round that had 12 points up for grabs or something, but I've burned 6 cards out of my hand, and if I go out first, everyone else can just keep getting points while I'm out. As soon as the second person to be out of cards is out of cards, then the game ends. That's a cool balance, because you're like trying to gauge how many cards everyone still has in their hands and not go out too quickly. So it's a very simple game. Like I said, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to play an entire game of it, because you just go until 2 people are out of cards in their hands, and then whoever has the most points from those point cards wins the game. I think it's really good. I really like the silly artwork. The silly artwork maybe it makes it look like a kid's game when there's actually a little bit of like depth and thought in the game. It's surprisingly like better and a little bit deeper than I thought it would be in a box that small with a unicorn on the cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so like that might hurt like their ability to sell it like in, I don't know, Target or something. If someone walks past this and Phase 10 and Uno, they probably think like, oh, that's a game for 2-year-olds. I know what Phase 10 and Uno are because it's just cards with like a black background and a number. And that might have helped, even though I like this better. So anyways, the artwork's a little, could go either way. I think it's kind of funny to have silly artwork on here, but I think it's a clever little card game. I really like it. I also am going to give Rainbow a gold trophy here from Gaming Top Down. Devin, I know you haven't played it, but last thing we're going to do here is the cards from 1 to 6 do also make this fun little mural, setting them all together. So let's just look, and then I want you to tell me which of the 6 cards is your favorite piece of this unicorn mural. It's probably going to be that yellow, since you're so into yellow.
Well, and the massive unicorns on it.
Which on 3? Oh yeah, he is pretty big. Here's 5 though.
Oh, but the 5 is cool with the head.
That one's kind of derpy. He looks like he's wearing glasses.
I do like that card.
Where's the 6? Here we go. 6 has half a unicorn.
I really like all the cards in their own way.
Yeah.
I think cherries are cool. I do like orange and yellows. I mean, kiwis are just cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the derpy guy, and then I do like grape flavors.
Yeah. Anyways, that part's not important, but kind of a fun little touch that they all do. Kind of make this one piece of artwork. But anyways, that's Rainbow. Another recommendation from Gaming Top Down. I think it's a great little card game that for full price, I think is $9. But you might be able to find it for cheaper than that as well. So that's going to be our review for Rainbow. All right, Devin, and we're going to jump back out from the table, back to our faces. And that is going to do it for the Gaming Top Down podcast this week. This has been episode number 64. Again, make sure to check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/supergamebrothers, where you can get all of our episodes early, right into the show, vote on the games that we play and cover, and generally communicate with us. And that's where you can do that, and it helps us keep the lights on. So appreciate that. Make sure to check out Devin on Twitch if you like watching live video games. He's a player 4 over there. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week for episode 65. Till then.